There's a content creator here, a very popular one. If I say the name, you will all know his name, talking about how Kikuyus are single women. They are not married. And he was saying it in such a condescending manner, not to mention that he himself has caused 2 or more single women to be single mothers. But that's not the point. The point I want to make is that Kikuyu women have been single mothers forever, and I want to give you a history. Before the colonizers came, my ex-boss, who is now 75, told me that long time ago, what Kikuyu men used to do, because the land belonged to the community, he would go get some land, like 10 acres or so. They never used to measure. They just take land, get a wife, give her 9 babies, and leave that wife there to grow the wealth from that land that he has picked. There was nobody selling. The land belonged, I think, to no one. So he leaves that wife there. Once all the 9 kids are born and whatever, he goes another place. He gets land, gets wife, 9 kids who will till the land. The reason the 9 kids I'm giving, not necessarily 9, but a lot of kids, is that there was no paid labor, people you could pay to help you till the land. So those kids were the people who are supposed to help you till the land. And the only thing needed during that time was food, because a hut you just construct with woods there, which you get from that land. There was no exotic things for building houses. Ni vitu tu zenye you find in your environment and construct a house. There was no, I don't know, maybe there were, anyway, that's how they did life. So the children were labor. There was no formal education. The education they received was at home. Now, how many wives that man got was dependent on his wealth appetite. If he realized that 2 wives are good enough to make him wealthy, and anyway, generally, God created women to make men wealthy. Even today, only that now our thinking is all confused. But so that time their thinking was not confused. They knew a woman is to make you wealthy, so that one will make you wealthy there. Then, because everything belonged to the man anyway. All these pieces of land he's going and getting, and all these women he's getting, and all these children are his. Okay? And the women accepted it in any case. Whatever he's doing, you couldn't do as a woman. So then the generation after that, which then now when the colonialists came, they introduced monogamy, but it didn't peak immediately. So I can remember that my great-grandfather is reported to have 6 wives. But my great-grandfather had 4 wives. Same principle. But now this time, because the colonialists have come and are trying to claim the land was a bit less. My great-grandfather had 4 wives. My grandfather just had 1. Yeah. So what am I saying? Whilst these arrangements were happening, there is no way the husband has bought land there and 9 wives, he will be there. That woman is supposed to till that land by herself. Yeah, with her children, and take care of them and whatever, because the husband has gone to get another piece of land. Anyway, and as he gets another piece of land and another piece of land and another wife and whatever, even you are saying, my husband is a rich man. Who doesn't want a rich husband, even today? So you're saying your husband is a rich wife. And that thing of wives was not at he's got 2 wives, 3 wives, 4 wives. That was not in a Kikuyu woman's mind. I want you to go back to that first story I gave you. So that thing of being single, it's only almost very recent. Okay, even my grandmother who was an only wife, that time now, Kenya is fighting for independence. Her husband was taken to Marsabit by the colonialists. Sijui, I don't know, walikuwa wakipelekwa huko. So again, she brought up her kids alone. She has a husband. She's the only wife. But the husband has been taken to, sijui kunaitwa aje, huko Marsabit, where they were being kept there. she was single. So this thing of being a single woman, only that now it's in a modern way, because we are living in a modern state, in a modern environment, which more modern than it was before. So Kikuyu women generally have not had husbands until they are every day. So yeah. And by the way, and I also saw another story that when the colonialists were wondering, how do we destroy these Kikuyu people, because they felt you could not destroy them. So they were given an advice by someone, and that someone was a woman, and who was a Christian, who had joined Christianity. And she told them the best way to destroy Kikuyu men is make them live in the same house with the woman. Because you see that before they had their own house, even if they had many wives in one compound, he had his own house, and each woman had her own house. Can you see? They were still single. So this thing of saying Kikuyu women are single, like it's a bad thing, it's a historical thing. It's not a bad thing. And you should also learn the history of your culture. Yeah. And history is so important. My daughter tells me, hey, you and history, I was telling her about these different kind of companies that are coming up of unga ya ugali and whatever. And I had somewhere people were talking about that, and I thought, they're saying, they say that name. Me, I don't even, that's what's trending now. Me, I'm like, what is that? So I told her, me, if I'm to buy any brand specifically, it has to be those brands that were there when I was a kid. And her, she's like, oh my God, you and history. Anyway, I just wanted you to know that thing of Kikuyus being single mothers is a cultural thing. It's not a modern thing. They were married but single, bringing up kids on their own. Bringing up kids on their own. Let me just state that, because everything else I will say falls down about bringing up their kids on their own. And so single motherhood in the Kikuyu culture was a wealth creation tool historically, but it so happens even now, you will see that single mothers thrive when they are not in a marriage. That and this time it's not just Kikuyu single mothers, it's all single mothers will thrive. But I think that is the origin of single motherhood in Kenya, but in Kikuyu, that's the definite origin. Yeah. For all your money, succession law, and estate planning wisdom, keep it locked here, and they are all related. And have a good day.